Hey everybody, welcome back to another Borderlands 3 Legendary Weapons Guide video. In this video, we're going to be discussing the Stark Tsunami. It's a legendary Malawan SMG. From what I've been able to gather from my research online, this particular legendary does have a particular spot that it tends to drop from. You can find it apparently on Skywell 27 when you fight the boss, the Katagawa Ball. It's basically the end boss battle for that particular location when you're doing the main quest. That's actually where I got it on my first playthrough. The boss dropped it for me here, as you can see. In my opinion, the regular stats for it were not super overwhelming. The text says you can't explain that. And this gun, the Tsunami, from what I remember, this was a gun from the very first Borderlands. So this is kind of a throwback to that. And it was a darn good gun in the first one. It was a pearlescent, if I remember correctly. And I was fortunate enough to get it. So this is kind of a throwback to that. Just like the gun in Borderlands, this one also has a wave kind of effect to it. When you shoot the gun, it alternates between shooting one projectile and then a wave of about 5 projectiles, near as I can tell. This makes it operate sort of like a shotgun in that it has a bit of a spread to it. And as you'll see in the testing that I do here, I found it pretty easy to shoot enemies in the head and get that critical damage. The second special effect that this legendary gun has is that it alternates between shock and corrosive damage. It seems to be random. I wasn't able to glean anything in my tests or see anything online. Everything I saw and witnessed just tends to confirm that it's random in which elemental effect it deals out. But the gun fires pretty darn fast, and you're pretty much getting a constant alternation of just shock and corrosive. So that's very handy, because although you have Malawan weapons that can switch between, say, corrosive and shock, I've not encountered a gun yet that has both elements at the same time. I read online on one particular page that this gun also alternates between incendiary damage as well. That I can't confirm. In my tests, I only saw shock and corrosive. I did not see any incendiary. I don't know if that's tied maybe to the enemies I was shooting it at. You're shooting at bandits, maybe the gun sort of, knows and it'll use incendiary damage on flesh. But I was shooting enemies that were either shielded and or with armor, so maybe that affected it. But I did read that somewhere, so I wanted to throw that out for you guys. If it did alternate between all three, that would just be super OP. Overall, I found the gun very meaty. It was good for up close. It was good for far away because it has that spread, and I found it very accurate. So it was something I could shoot from long range in addition to up close. And up close, it just melted enemies because it was so easy to hit them in the head for that critical hit damage. For enemies that had a critical hit area that you're not, really sure where it's at, or it's kind of hard to access, I also found this gun was good because it's got that spread on it. It almost operates like a shotgun, and if you just pretty much point and shoot at the enemy that you're trying to hit, you're pretty much going to hit the critical hit area at least a couple times. Since it has the dual elemental damage on it, it's very handy because if you have an enemy that's both shielded and has armor on it, you just don't have to switch between guns. A lot of your bosses or badass enemies have that, so this is a very good gun I found for dealing with those types of enemies, and that's primarily what I used it for. Also, if you're running an elemental build with Amara, I could see this being a fantastic weapon because it gets the shock damage, which is what you want with Amara, and you also get the corrosive damage as well. I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of footage with the sound of the gun, because that's something I've realized that not a lot of people do, and if you're like me, I enjoy hearing what a gun sounds like, so I'm going to leave you with that, and with a little bit more gameplay before wrapping it up. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. If you found this gun, let me know where you found it from, and if you're utilizing it in a build, let me know how you've been utilizing it and how it's been working out for you. Again, thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next installment.